Hello, everyone. Sarah Pacaro. Today, we're sharing insight that came through my private containers, and that is the power of labels and the limitations on labels. There was a deep, powerful, freeing discussion about the benefit of labels for certain things and about the insurmountable benefit to removing labels on people, on ourselves. Labels are extremely powerful, helpful, and beneficial. Think about a bottle of bleach. A bottle of bleach is clear. And if you've got it somewhere that isn't a good place for it, let's say under your kitchen sink and it's labeled bleach, that is helpful. That is beneficial. You know where it is, you know what it is. And with that, you can protect yourself. With that, you can keep yourself and your loved ones safe, secure. And that is what everything we do is in an effort to do, is to protect ourselves and keep ourselves safe and feeling secure. When you open up underneath your sink and you see the label bleach, you think, okay. And it has a purpose and it has a reason. If you were to grab water and apply it to what you were expecting bleach to do, you would have an expectation that was unmet. You would have the expectation of receiving a certain desire or outcome. Let's say, for example, you've got a stain. My daughter wears white polo shirts to school sometimes, and then she comes home and they look like a Dalmatian. And I'm like, girl, what did you do? Seriously, what did you do at school today? What is the reason for all of this? What is the reason for all of these spots and all these dots? And she laughs and she says, what, Mom? I had fun. Isn't that what matters? And I laugh back and I say, yes, of course. No worries. Hakuna Matata is our word. It means no worries. And we call it a wonderful phrase. And we love that. We love those labels and reminders. Hakuna Matata is a label and a reminder of no worries. You can go find the jar, the spray bottle, the bottle that is labeled with bleach. You can apply it and you can expect a certain outcome. It will remove the stains. Our life is run on expectations and labels, and some are very helpful, some are very powerful, some are forward moving, some are motivating, some are energizing. Like Hakuna Matata reminds me, no worries, it's okay. Throw it in the wash, add some bleach on it. You know where it is. And when you use what you know to use, you can expect you will experience the desired outcome. Just like this bleach will remove the Dalmatian dots on her shirt, on the stains on her shirt. But so many of us, when we've lived through life, have experienced labels in a way that hold us back from an expected or desired outcome, especially when we've gone through really difficult things, really hard things, emotionally traumatizing things. We can go to a certain place, let's say a help group or a support group, a community group, and we experience the same thing. We have an expectation of a desired outcome, that I'm going to go to this place, people who have similar labels, and I am going to experience freedom from this because I'm surrounded by people who get it. And that's not always the outcome. It's the desired outcome, it's the expected outcome, but it's not always the experienced outcome. So there's desires, expectations, and experiences. And all of these have attachments to particular and certain labels. And there's such an abundance of available information today that we connect with, we accept, and we become attached to. When you've gone through emotionally neglectful and abusive past experiences, you are on this journey after going through the awareness of what you've experienced, and on this journey of awareness, I desire a change. I desire a particular change of state, change of heart, change of labels. And then we attach to and we connect with and we accept labels being put on ourselves about ourselves: worthless, powerless, helpless, hopeless, codependent, emotionally unavailable. And we make agreements to these things. Yeah, I am codependent. Yeah, I am emotionally unavailable. Yeah, I've been emotionally traumatized. Yeah. We make agreements to these things. We see the label and we say, yes, yes, that's it. That's it. That's it. Almost like when we see the bleach and we go, that's it. Hand me the bottle. There's an expectation that I know what that is based upon its label. And the same thing happens with us. I know who I am based on my labels. And that oftentimes holds us back and hinders us from the direction that we desire to go, from what we desire to experience, what we desire to achieve. We desire to achieve freedom, freedom from the labels. You can't honestly tell me that it feels good to say, yeah, I attract emotionally unavailable people. And if everything in life is a mirror, a match, an energetic match, and reflection, projection, that means that I am too. And that I am statement is a declaration, it's an identity to the label that's attached. And it becomes this embodiment of this label. It becomes, I know what that is because that's what it says. And we become what we say we are. And so many of these labels, it's like we can see that they're on there, but time has smudged them. Time has altered them. Time has made them so we can see that something is there, but we don't know what that something that's there is. Almost like when you leave something out in the sun or outside, it becomes weathered, it becomes tattered, it becomes not what it once was. I grew up in Arizona. If you had any kind of furniture outside, you spend a lot of money on outdoor patio furniture, a lot. And it's beautiful at first. And even a car, you spend a lot of money on a car. If you leave it parked out in the driveway, if you leave that furniture outdoors uncovered, unprotected, it will change. And what once was isn't quite so anymore over time. That same experience happens with us. And we try and figure out what it is, what it was. And we try and go about it logically, chronically. Well, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And all of that makes sense. Why you feel this way, but why you can't break through it, why you can't transform your experience with it, why you can't remove that label that's been placed on you just doesn't quite make sense. And so you invest a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money, a lot of resources into trying to change and to trying to get a new coat of paint. You can repaint a car, but if the engine is broken down, what's the point? You can put new covers on the furniture, on the patio furniture. You can put new pillows on it. But if it's been so broken down that when you sit on it, the bottom gives out, what's the point? You see, it's the inside that counts. The labels that you're emotionally, energetically attached to internally. That is what really matters. It's not the outside label. It's what's inside. If you put the label of water on a bleach bottle and you went to use that as if it was water, you would get a very different outcome, very different internal experience. It said water and you were to drink it and it was actually bleach inside, you'd be calling poison control and you would not be feeling good. Vice versa. If it said water and it was actually bleach and you used it on something, it could completely ruin it, completely destroy it. If it said bleach and it was water, I went to use it to wash my daughter's shirt, expecting it would get all those Dalmatian dots out and back to white, back to new, back to my expectation. Oh, this is going to get that out. And it said bleach on the outside. Bleach was the label, but there was, in fact, water on the inside. I would be very let down, very disappointed. You see, it's what's on the inside that matters. It's what's on the inside that counts. It's what's on the inside that makes the difference. It makes all the difference, in fact. And so many of us get held back. We desire a different internal experience, but we're looking at the external labels. And this impacts everything. If you're saying, I have this label, this diagnosis, because this person said it's going to take this long, I'm stuck. I have to live with this for this long. That's like continuing to try to get the stains out, where bleach would be more powerful, more helpful, more beneficial than water, and you continue to use water. Well, someone just said if I keep doing it long enough, it'll eventually work itself out. Really? And you see other people using something else and they're getting much faster results. It's the label. It's the label that holds us back more than anything else. It's the label and it's the story that we have with it that causes the frustration with the experience. It's the label. We can say certain things. Oh, I can do this. I can't do that. This person has this, but I can never have that. They're luckier. They've got it more figured out. It's the label that we attach to things. It's the label that we want out of, that we want off of us, that we want to be free from. And so many people that come to me to work with me come to me with so many labels. Labels are limiting when they're on a being. You're not a bottle. You're not a shirt. You're not a piece of furniture. You're not a car. Those are items. You are not those things, but we make associations and connections with those things when we label ourselves. When we say, I can't because, and then there's a label. Well, I can do that because there's a label. It's the labels that limit us. It's the labels that have been attached to us, placed on us, that we haven't yet ripped, removed, gotten rid of. Because all of those carry an energetic frequency, an energetic vibration, an energetic story, oftentimes a very critical, harsh, negative, limiting story. And oftentimes it's the reason why we've done so much and we've come so far in our journey and our transformation to healing, but we just still can't make sense of why we feel this way because they're invisible, they're faded. We thought we have gotten them off, but it's still like that gunk is still stuck on them. You know, when there's a sticker on something for a long time and you can peel the sticker off, but the sticky is still on, it's still attached, it's still connected. That is what we need gone. The stickiness, the attachment, the connection to it. We want it gone completely. We want to be free, free from it, free from the residence and the residue of it. Emotionally free, energetically free, spiritually free, mentally free. And there's a process to that. But most people go about a certain way and they add more in. They go to someone or professional who says, add this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And they do all the things because their expectation is that if they do, they'll get that desired result. And then they don't, and they wonder why. All of those are external situations, circumstances, labels. Labels of more that have you feel more frustrated, more confused, more emotionally drained. more exhausted, more of all the things you don't desire. So, this internal transformational work about removing the energetic and visible labels, the labels you can't see, but you can feel the stickiness and the attachment and the bind and the connection to, it's about becoming free from those. It's about removing those. It's about not being attached to a particular label, especially a label that limits you, a label that constricts you, a label that binds you, and a story attached to it. Oh, you can't because of this. Oh, you grew up in this type of environment. Well, that means you now have this as a result. And when you have that, well, good luck with life. Life is going to be hard. Life is going to be difficult. Life is going to be tough. And life is going to suck. And what you expect tends to be realized. And so when you go back chronologically, logically, I experienced this and this and this and this and this and this. So therefore, I have this label. And now that's what it says is going to be because of this label. There's an expected outcome. Even though it's different from your desire, there's an expected outcome. And what is expected tends to be realized. And the problem with that label is it's limiting, it's constricting. It limits you. It's almost literally like blinders on, where you can't see that out here is all the potential, all the possibility, and your vision is limited. It's restricted. It's, I can only see this, but what I desire is right outside of these walls. This work is about internal emotional freedom and breaking down those invisible barriers and walls, removing them so that there's nothing not available to you. Understanding a double negative as a positive so that everything you desire becomes available to you, is in your sphere, is in your realm, is possible for you, so that anything is possible, because these invisible barriers and walls have been broken down, have been removed, don't exist. What is present is just pure freedom, pure potentiality, pure possibility, because there's no more sticky residue from the labels. And oftentimes you've done the work and you think you've gotten rid of the label, but there's still residue that needs to be removed. That is what this inner transformational healing experience is all about, is removing it all as if it was never there in the first place. True, pure, energetic, emotional, mental, spiritual freedom. Completely removing the labels. Living labelless. I'd love to invite you into our spaces, into our containers, if this resonated with you. If you are ready to live labelless, I'd love to connect with you. You can find out more at sarahpacaro.com. Until then, sending you all the love. Bye for now.